She lied and said she saw it from B block. Must be a vital difference, but what? What would change? The distance to the crime. Change the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright. But one look at the floor plans, it's quite clear. Distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she would see. What she saw is not in question. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to get from there to the scene of the crime where you arrest Miss Sky? Yes? I knew. Bringing up a PB&J lunch. Fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Wasn't in a station, so I waited. Witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. Before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running around towards the scene. But the door was locked, so I couldn't open it. Why would you run all the way over there? What's the point? That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking in B block. It's quite a detour. A huge-ass detour. Probably took me like 5 minutes to get to the scene of your crime. 5 minutes?! This changes things considerably. That one over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. Swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention. Would you like another caviar? Absolutely! Quit eating, you bearded moron. We have any evidence to stop this? Hell yes! 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest? Think about it. You could have made pasta in the amount of time. I feel like an al dente. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange. You were a criminal. What would you do at 5 minutes? Well, guess I'd flee the scene. Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone. Well, you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. Miss Sky doll at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Moron. See, as we come to the end of this testimony. It's a grudge against the defendant, and there is a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth is the next witness ready to go. Unfortunately, appeared to be underestimated this witness on account of her personal history. We did it. Screwed that can't shut. That was too close. Afraid that the Coffin Queen has been dethroned. With that, court is adjourned. Oh God, what now? Her? No! I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Screw you, Edgeworth. I may be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. Was that? Is this another one of those trick lunchboxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you. Holy crap. That's just 3 boxes. You twit. Won't be disappointed. Somehow I doubt it. Decisive evidence. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. Now, it's a matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's. The other one was the defendant. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. And why didn't you present it? Try lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple. As I already said, she doesn't trust you with evidence. More like she was hiding it. Did I mention I have 3 boyfriends in forensics? In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. You know 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence will be shown without the approval of the police. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Seems so. Edward's celebrating. I used to be a detective, so she technically was part of the police. As you can see, it's approved by the police as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence. Oh. He's looking sullen. Prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. You had yet another course against you, witness. We get a shoe. Oh joy. Mention the 5 minutes. Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very eyes. Compared to that, 5-minute blank means nothing. Why didn't you just tell the truth? We're dealing with the most intro story of the biased bitch. You fight monsters, you need every trick in the book. So when the suspect is admitting she did it, false testimony is the most despicable crime of all. Let's just get this over with. Now it's a matter of the victim's shoe. And you found the shoe at the scene of the crime? Detained the chief prosecutor, notified the police department. Making yourself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. Like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe! Hey, now it's right to call her a bitch. Afraid someone will erase the chief prosecutor's crime. She was my secret weapon, if that should happen. Now this fashionable basket I have here. Here's more lunch boxes. So she snuck it inside her basket. In any case, remove valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now tell us what you did next. 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was, of course, that was the victim's. So you brought it to the forensics department. When you submit something as evidence, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. And she got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective. She does appear to have blood stains on it. Makes sense. After all, a man was stabbed there. And that blood belonged to Goodman. As I said, there were 2 types of blood. And the other was the defendant. You can't say for sure that the blood belongs to the victim with a blood test. Claim to know something about blood tests? Huh? Speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types: A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from blood test whether a murder was performed in cold blood. That's just a figure of speech, right? Actually, if you combine all the various blood tests, there are millions of types. It's practically impossible to narrow a blood type down to a single person. Or so I hate. Millions of types? If I had a little more time, we would have gotten DNA test results. But they said there's very little doubt there could be anyone else besides Lana. So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe. That ties it directly to the death of Goodman. Afraid he was going to say that. She proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. I can't let this evidence go without a fight. Or the peppered fish guts. Ew! Some like it hot. Some like your client. She's enough hot water to make a whole batch of soup. Do you have a problem with this shoe? Problem? This is critical. What's wrong with the shoe? There is a problem. I'm not imagining things. I'm gonna check it out. White enamel shoe. Gonna check it out for myself. Zoom in. Examine that shoe. This blood? It's my sister's, right? Here's so. The right hand was bandaged when I saw her in jail. She must have cut herself at the time of the crime. Well, that helps. If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there is one critical problem with this evidence. Clear contradiction. Leaving your eye, it's still young, rookie. Give you a peppered fish gut now? You couldn't take the heat, could you? So let's take another look at that shoe. Turn around a bit, and what is that? It is on the bottom. Blood here too. On the sole of the shoe. It's gotta be the victim's. He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood. All this blood. It's horrible. Blood might be an important clue. Always check your stuff. Let's hear what Wright has to say. What's contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence. Well, we're right here. I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of the shoe. Don't mess with me, Wookie. Or there'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. Makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. Could possibly be contradictory about blood on his shoe. Well, what with this? See there? There is no blood on the ground. Very contradictory. Problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't there any bloody footprints at the scene of the crime? As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. It contradicts your claim about the shoe. The picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. If there were bloody footprints, they would have been found. We checked the scene and found nothing. What? Good going, Wright. But it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction. But we have to ask, why wasn't there a footprint? Oh, it's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright, think. I don't know why it wasn't there. Just good at finding contradictions. I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hook-winked to the very end. But she slipped. There was one vital hint to the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. Chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside and knocked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator. Blah blah blah. That was a strange thing for a normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Not sure. I like your attitude. Witness, well, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it right. Do you want to know the reason she kicked it over? The real reason? Aha, you don't mean. Yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. What?! That ties things up quite nicely. Bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to the crime. When it was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me, this guy's right hand was hurt. Did you see she cut herself when she stabbed him? Sister's blood on the shoe, that's when it happened. I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please. What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. Enough. There is no need to further debate. Your verdict, Your Honor. Very well. Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. You could have been lying about the water. Court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. Who did it now? What? Little girl, what did you just say? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying that my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you had your fill, but seems you're demanding a second helping. No lunchbox? Lunchbox called evidence. Oh, God. Don't tell me that's something else. You reached your verdict, Your Honor. Your further comments will be held in contempt of court. If that doesn't scare the cough up queen. Look at this. A photograph? I had this in case anyone had the gall to suggest the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. I see no room for error for this evidence. Look at that asphalt in the photo. Hey, that's clearly wet. We see the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. Jeez. It's not your fault. I know it can win this case from the beginning. And it seems that this is what your sister wanted anyway. Sorry, Mia. Right, wet or not, don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself off the asphalt and take another good luck. Don't give up until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence. Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good. Objection! Your Honor, wait. What is it with you people? Can I handle my verdicts in peace anymore? Verdict, can it wait? No, it can't. Or it'll be too late. Look at this photograph. The last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give every piece of evidence proper consideration. So, Wright, are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yes. There's a problem. Right or wrong, I gotta go ahead with this. Suppose since we come this far, we give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem with the photograph. So is there a problem with him? No. Everything is fine over there. It's fine with the shoe. Everything is fine right there. The floor is okay, yes, but what is in the exhaust? The problem in this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking on the car's muffler. Just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor, you just said muffler. Alright, I see no trace of muffler or scarf of any kind in the photograph. Muffler is also a part of a car or motorcycle. Just think of it as the part of the exhaust system, a pipe. Oh, I see. What's that suspicious looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler? So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with the case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sorry, Miss Starr. It's not going to be that easy. In fact, you already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth is related to the case. The word muffler was overheard during a call made to Emma. So, yes! Miss Starr, call your testimony for the court. Ah, yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler, which had me confused with my earlier testimony. She herself said something about the muffler. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? I think so. That means this piece of evidence is vital. Win! Kick your ass, kick your ass, kick your ass. You have to suspend the proceedings. Suspend? I find myself worried about that piece of cloth. You leave any question unanswered here, do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once, and bring me that cloth. We're to wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. Phew. That was close. But we made it, at least for now. Court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all. Still hungry? Finally. That one took a bit too long, so for now we're gonna close the book on this one, and next time let's play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. We'll go back to the court and figure out the rest of what we're gonna do. See you guys then.